raised the pending bills to be 6.4 billion. Then I can confirm that's why the Nakuru people, they're all crying everywhere about their pending bills, the payments. I know you, the Star has said, I commended you that you're paying the pending bills, but there's a lot of outcry, and this can prove having a pending bill of 6.4 billion.
So this is the danger of speaking jargon rather than speaking to the public. Because, Governor, the report that we have here from your opening balances, it indicates that prior year you did very well.
Yes.
Prior year you did very well. You closed at 1.4 and you had nothing under 1 year. So the concern is why the subsequent year it jumped by 5 billion. And I think that's the explanation that needs to come out so that the people of Nakuru do not come to a conclusion that you are not paying. So if it's an accounting reason, break it down to a language that people can understand.
Thank you, Chair. And I'll turn it over to Martha, who will give us it's an accounting reason that needs to be broken down into language we can understand. But for the record, when I came into office, unlike what the Nakuru Senator is saying, it was not 800 million, but it was 2.1 billion of eligible debt, a pending bill, and 2.5 billion ineligible. But over time, after we set up the committee, most of that moved up to be eligible because maybe they were missing things here and there. But anyhow, let me turn it over to Martha.
Again, for answered purposes, reintroduce yourself.
Honorable Chair, my name is Martha Mateta. I'm in charge of debt management. Now, I'm going to explain the spike of 500 billion. When we were closing the financial year...
Is it 500 billion?
5 billion, I'm sorry.
Okay.
When we closed the financial year, 24-25, as at 30th June 2025, most of these expenditure had not been cleared for payment by the IFMI system. And so when we crossed over to Q1 and Q2 of financial year 25-26, these payments were cleared. Most of them were not ideally pending bills. They were just trade payables that were covered in now the ended financial year. By 31st May of 2026, the trade payables stood at 2.5 billion. So, Honorable Chair, we are really working on paying the pending bills. The rise to 6.4 was not ideally pending bills. It was trade payables brought about by the transition to accrual. Thank you.
So how much of that stock related to staff? I think that question has been asked repeatedly.
237 million.
That's under within 1 year?
Not within 1 year.
Or in total?
Yeah, in total. And out of that... 237 million.
How much of that is statutory remittances, pensions?
208.
So 208 million relates to statutory deductions?
Yes, and out of that, we've processed around 68 million for payment.
I would have thought that statutory deductions are done on a monthly basis as salaries are requisitioned. What would be the reason for having about 100+ million on outstanding statutory deductions for staff?
You see, when we were requested to declare everything, including the old obligations, we had to declare this 208, which was coming from the defunct local authority.
How much was coming from the defunct local authority?
208 million.
Were those pension obligations or the pay as you earn and other tax-related...
Pension obligations.
So maybe just for the record, because you used 31st May as a benchmark, where you said your trade payables is 2.5 billion. As at 31st May, what is your total employee payables?
It's still 237 million because the payments have not been cleared.
And what is
But there is a 58. There is a 58.
What is the age of the 237 million? Is it over 3 years?
No, it's between 2 to 3 years and 1 to 2 years, Chair.
Then it cannot relate to defunct authorities, because if it was for defunct authorities, it would be greater than 3 years.
But that is when it was introduced into the books.
It was not recognized as a liability previously.
It wasn't recognized.
Okay. Auditor General, what's your take on that?
Chair, when you look at note 32, what she refers to the defunct local authority, they have indicated over 3 years. Those ones they are verifying. So I think they are correct, because we are moving from the pending bills to now accrual. And with the new adoption, they were told just to put the figures pending verification. So maybe we can give them allowance as we adopt the accrual that allows them to verify and confirm the actual balances so that the books can be properly stated. Thank you, Chair.
Now, on this, do you owe any gratuities to staff who have served the county government of Nakuru previously? Because those would form part of that 237 million.
Sisi, no.
Is that a statement of fact, or is something that you need to examine?
Chair, it should be a statement of fact, because my CEC has
so
confirmed.
then what is the makeup of the 237 million? What are the items?
208 in staff pension, and then 29 million 455 937 in staff allowances and claims.
Senator Maruma?
Yeah, but Chair, still, I don't understand the auditor. Please just make it clear that there are some bills which are historical in nature that were previously ignored and were brought back just last year. How is that? Where were they? I'm not an accountant myself, I'm a farmer. Where were they previously?
Auditor?
Okay, Honorable Senator, they were not just brought from anywhere, but in our previous cash basis, they were doing disclosure. They were not reporting them as under the financial statement items. And that's why the road to accrual adoption is giving a window of 3 years under IPSAS 33, and they were allowed to bring in what they had reported. So we are using that annexure that was in 2023-2024 that was reported as a disclosure appendix. So we are just taking them, the ones that have not been paid, but the standard allows them now to bring the balances which are not accurate pending verification. Same to the case of assets, where we write historical, pending now adoption of balances, and now instituting the depreciation and amortization.
No, Auditor, we spent almost 1 hour with Wajir, who had come up with 1.4 billion as trade payables out of the blues. And we spent a lot of time on it. What you're saying is that they were bringing forward, previously it was a disclosure, isn't it? But if they had disclosed 200 million, you'd expect it is the 200 million that they would bring to their financial statements. Would it change in between?
Yes, Chair, it will change, but if we go to note 32,
Under what circumstance would it change?
it can only change when they have disclosed the analysis, the age analysis. Is it within the first year? Is it the second year or the third? If they bring the third, then it will be wrong, because we have the financial statements which were certified.
No, if they said globally, our trade payables in the year under cash accounting was 200 million, and now we have moved to accrual accounting. Shouldn't we see the 200 million for those years as was disclosed in the previous years?
Correct, Chair. They should bring the 200 that was disclosed in the previous year that was certified.
I think that's what Senator Maruma, that now clarifies it. So it reverses the earlier assertion that this 237 could just come up if it had not been disclosed in prior years. I think that's what I heard the entity say, that this 237 was not there, but it was brought in as a result of accrual.
Chair, maybe just to check again the analysis, I think maybe because of the figures, the analysis 1 to 2, it means the previous years. When you add 523 million, you add to 273, and you add to 681, goes to 1.4 that we have indicated that were previously reported, which are still
that's what your
outstanding.
opening statement.
That is now the opening.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. So I think one of the things that the entity also didn't do is that other entities usually have a separate analysis and aging of staff payables. That is what is missing. And that's why we are fishing in the dark. So we are not able to tell whether this 237 was just plucked from the air or it had been carried forward from prior periods.
Yeah, and just as an observation, as we are aging, we cannot age the way we have aged. Because when we say 1 to 2 years, 523 million, and then 2 to 3 years, 273 million, you discover that we have 2 and 2 down here. We cannot age like that. We can't do that. It has to be 1 to 2 years, then maybe 3 to 4 years. Otherwise, there cannot be an overlap of 2 and 2. In my previous years, I used to do mathematics. So this one can't. We can't do that.
Okay, Senator Cherarke, so that we...
Chair, maybe mine, Governor, you said something about verification of the pending bill. Was there a report on both legible and illegible? And my second, was it challenged in another forum, or all the people who brought forward their claim has been settled? And therefore, in conclusion of this, over 3 years, how many percent, or if you have numbers, I saw CEO of Finance, is here Katu or somebody, how much has been offset on the legible part? That will be my 3 questions. Thank you, Chair. Yield back the mic.
Governor?
Sorry, Chair. For Senator Cherarke's question, we do have what's called the pending bill committee. And what they do is sit and go through those pending bills, because some of them did not have all the requirements to be paid. So over time, people do submit what was missing or what was lacking, and it goes through the process, either becoming eligible or stays ineligible. However, I do have the
Governor,
CC.
is it continuous? Do you
Yes,
verify?
yes, even now.
That's dangerous.
It's continuous.
So if I go and go to River Road and manufacture a voucher, how will you know? If I know I'm missing, for example, if there is a sub-county engineer report for a road that was done during the previous administration, maybe tarmac has been washed, the culverts are not there, and I go and manufacture, how do you ensure that you don't lose such? Because I know you have an obligation to protect the resources. So take us through, because over 3 years, some of these projects are over. How do you seal that? I thought it was time bound.
I'll turn it over to the CEC for Finance. But in that committee, and he'll explain, I think you said you want an explanation of how the process works. It has the audit team in it, it has the procurement people, the accountants and technical people, so that they are able to maybe verify what your concern is right now. But I'll have the CEC answer that.
Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. The auditor committee comprises of members of the county team, and they have a secretariat that draws membership from the audit team, procurement department, accountants, and the technical team for those projects that require technical knowledge. So the first step is whoever who has a bill that requires to be settled goes to the secretariat through the committee, goes to the secretariat. They look at the nitty-gritties of the payments and whether the work was done or not, the verification. Then now it goes to the committee for now the final verification. Then now that bill moves from ineligible to eligible.
Chair, my only concern, if you hear my worry, and Governor, I thought, you know, my only concern, why is it not time bound? Why are you continuously verifying? That is my only concern. Because you have seen your colleague, Governor, especially the inherited ones. When you are not there, you are with us as the whip, although you are removed by your friend, you survived, you became the governor.
Order. Let's stick to the to the report. I know it is Ugali o'clock, but let's.
But where I come from, Chair, what is important is not Ugali, it is Mursik. So, Governor, my only concern is on these 3 years, Chair, and I hope the committee chair through you is noting, because if we have, Governor, the over 3 years, why didn't you create a time bound of maybe 30 days to verify? Because my worry, Governor, you know, there are people who are crafty, and I'm not saying they're in Nakuru. My worry is they can infiltrate and go and take advantage. If they come to CC, my brother, the CC of Finance, they appear before the committee, they are told there is no voucher of supply of soda. They run at Nakuru Mart supermarket and manufacture a receipt and backdate it and then bring it. Then you include him in legible. Don't you find it is very dangerous? You can pay fake pending bills.
Yeah, I want to pick the mind of Senator Charad.
Yes, please, and return it when you are done with it.
Can be extremely dangerous if it is for maybe construction. Maybe a building is constructed, it's there, classroom is there. You can reconstruct and get maybe the vouchers around there and pay. But for recurrent, over 3 years, maybe a receipt that is not there now, it's provided, and then you pay. You might end up paying a lot of fictitious pending recurrent payables. That is my problem also.
Okay.
So, Chair, let me write also on that Cheragei's mind. We will return it. Governor Senator Susan, you know, this verification is not just on documentation. It's also on physical verification, you know, site visits and all those. And I think what Cheragei is saying really makes a lot of sense. That, take an example of a road, even graveling, you know, a road. The documentation is there, but there is doubt as to whether actually that work was done. 4 years, 3 years down the line, if you are to go and verify on the ground, what are you going to verify? Because, I mean, you have had 5 rain seasons that have washed that road 3 times. It has been done and redone, but you're still telling me, you know, we are not sure whether you did this project, although your documents are okay. How do you go about that?
Okay, Governor, maybe just the process and policy, and then we come back to the numbers.
Thank you, Chair. I'll turn it over to the CC Finance.
Thank you, Chair. For verification, we still need the department to own the pending bill. The committee that's, let's say the interdepartmental committee sits at as the last resort, because now the accounting officer should first of all own that bill from the department before now it comes to now the committee for verification. So
members, we might be involved in a hypothetical conversation in the absence of even a written document on their policy and procedure. Perhaps that's what we need to demand. What do you have a policy document? Do you have some procedure guidelines, or it's just verbal? I'm sure that whoever has been given that responsibility, and I think for the first time I've had a county with what did the lady introduce herself as? Director of?
Resource mobilization.
Director of debt.
Director of debt.
Debt management. Which I think is something worth thinking about, because a lot of these counties, debt management is strewn all over the place. So people are involved in manufacturing invoices and LSOs, and you can never get a proper picture on the debt of a county. So if we have a position like that, I believe there must be some guidelines or procedures you have crafted.
Yes.
that
Chair.
can be tabled to assure the members that whatever you're doing is foolproof.
Yes, Chair. We have guidelines.
Can we then ask the Auditor General just to look at those guidelines and make sure that the risk that is being raised by members of taking too long to verify is not a real risk that will occasion financial loss in Nakuru? So that we don't deal with the hypothetical, we deal with an actual policy position. And then we come back to the numbers and then ask the governor, today is the 2nd of July 2026. The financial year was closed 2 days ago. Did you receive all your disbursements 100% by 30th of June?
Exchequer releases were done, yes.
By 30th of June?
Yes.
So we are not going to have this kind of problems in the succeeding financial year?
The easy answer would be we won't, but we will, because the requisitions that will be paid after the year closes. You see, there's so many that went through the system but will not have been paid until probably by the end of July. So there's that one, because the money comes in towards mid-June, right? I think so, mid-June.
No, there's a Governor, there's a 15-day window,
Yeah.
which sometimes the Treasury opens even up to 30 days.
Which is true.
There's
but
a window for reconciliation and finalization, and I believe you are right in the middle of that window right now.
Yes, we are. Actually, we are. But for those payments to completely go through the process or the system, it will be probably through July with that window.
Okay, so let's deal with that when it appears in the financial statements.
Sure.
Number two, as we close this, just out of the 5 billion that has been cited, how much of it has been paid? Or what percentage has been paid?
That's what my question earlier.
Chair, 3,460,178,592.52 has been paid.
So that means that the remaining 1.4 billion has now rolled over to debt over one year, isn't it?
Oh, sorry.
So the remaining 1.4 has escalated into 1 year debt.
Yes, that will be carried forward, and I believe that will be probably be paying.
Okay. Thirdly,
And even right now, sorry, Chair, to interrupt again, even as we speak, a lot of that is being paid because it was processed before the June 30th.
Thirdly, of the 1.47 billion cited, and that's in the report of the Auditor General, to be older than 1 year, what percentage remains outstanding? Or how much of that has been settled?
Sorry, Chair, if you can repeat the question.
Of the
one more time.
1.47 billion that the Auditor General cited as being over 1 year in these financial statements, how much of that has been settled? There was
around 200, 237, 200, about 230 million.
So your debt is growing faster than your repayments?
No. Can you answer?
Yeah, this is the records we have up to 31st of May. We do not have the records for what is at requisition level at the controller of budget.
Okay, so we can get the full picture in in the substantive audit.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this also brings to question your fiscal responsibility index. So, auditor, you need to now help us. If almost 1 billion was not accounted for in the year under review, do we have a correct picture of compensation of employees for the year? Because, you know, you cited it. It's a substantive finding where you're saying that I think it's under lawfulness, non-compliance with fiscal responsibility principle on wage bill. With all these accounting stories we are hearing, what is the true cost of compensation of employees for that year?
Thank you, Chair. The true cost of employee cost was 6 billion 590,685,095.
But we are told almost 900 million relating to that period were paid, are sitting here in this pending, in these trade payables, staff payables.
Thank you, Chair. When we go to note 32, the trade payables are also having other segments whereby we have employee payable compensation, which is 554,158,051, which indicates that this is the salary that was processed at the end of the year, at the end of the month.
That was not processed.
Yes.
That was not processed.
Sure, thank you.
So the true cost perhaps should take the 554, add the 312, isn't it? The 312 of employee payables, staff payables.
Yes, Chair, but the compensation also involves other parties. There is also payee. So when the reporting template is presented as this, we may not get the small nitty-gritty explanation. If we go that way, I think we maybe get lost.
So is Nakuru at 42% in terms of fiscal responsibility? Remember the PBO, PBO was disputing that percentage.
Yes, Chair. When you look at the revenue they have reported, it is 15,593,236,618. And when you compare the employee cost is 6,590,685,950. So when you get the percentage is 42. It's above the threshold that is recommended at 35%.
But auditor, also under budgetary control and performance, you have reported that the statement of comparison of budget and actual amounts reflects total receipts, budget and actual on a comparable basis of 23.9 billion and 19.5 billion respectively. So shouldn't the revenue be 19.5 billion as reported on your emphasis of matter? Why is there disconnect between the two figures, the 19.5 and
Which page is that?
the 15.5? Emphasis of matter in the original certificate is on page 5, and the analysis on fiscal responsibility is on page 7.
Okay.
I don't know whether Salat is in the room, PBO. I know we had raised it in our briefing, so we need to settle this matter. So what is it? Okay, just proceed. What is the revenue that we need to use as a base for computing fiscal responsibility?
The revenue should be what they have collected in totality, including what they have received from Exchequer.
And that should be what amount?
We calculated based on what they reported in their statement, which was 15 billion.
And where is this 19.5 billion coming from?
The 19.5?
19.534 billion.
This is the total budget, including, you see the performance on this was excluding the ROR. So when we add the ROR, which was 4 point, was it 4 point? Yeah, we add.
The base should be the total revenues, not just equitable share.
Okay, I think that one we need to have a correction on that, yeah.
I don't know whether, Governor, what you are saying makes sense?
Yes.
So what was the actual, according to you? You've reported 15 in the statements, and the auditor has seen 19.5.
19, right? Yeah.
So auditor,
Because of own source revenue and all that.
you understand where you're coming from?
Chair, I've understood.
So you need to recompute it,
Sure.
look at it so that we get a better picture of the state of affairs in Nakuru.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. We have taken note of that.
Senator Ataka.
I think it's also very important for the Nakuru people to know, because I can see here the 7.4 billion that was not absorbed in the county. You've seen there?
The under absorption
resulting to an under absorption of 7.4 billion, which is at about 38%.
Of the actual receipts?
Yeah. So where did that money go? Was it returned to the National Treasury?
Okay. Again, when these matters are in the audit report, the public can interpret it in any way they deem fit.
So maybe it's
this-
good the Auditor General you tell us, was it returned to the National Treasury or what happened?
Okay,
Is
thank
that
you.
the auditor's question or the county's question?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, Honorable Senator is asking the explanation in the budget where we are comparing what was actual receipt and what was spent. And Honorable Senator, you can follow the discussion that we had. At the close of the financial year, there are some payments that do not go through as they have been submitted to the controller of budget pending approval, and that's why the Treasury gives the window between 1st July to around 15th for the clearance. Once the window is closed, we normally have exchequer return, which forms
Return.
part of our analysis.
So to go into record, does it mean that 7.4 billion of the allocated money to the Nakuru County government was returned to the Treasury?
Thank you, Honorable Senator. It was not returned because the financial statement is as at 30th June, like yesterday, part 1. But the expenditure is allowed for reconciliation until around mid-July, whereby now we exhaust all the exchequer releases that were.
But do you want to tell me in 15 days, a county government can consume 7.4 billion?
Honorable Senator, it's possible because it depends. If it's a contract, they have a construction
Auditor
going
General,
on.
you are taking on a role that's not
yeah.
yours. It is the job of the executive to explain this. I think yours is to provide assurance, not to explain it.
Chair,
To
And
provide,
Chair, for the benefit of all
provide
of us,
assurance.
yeah.
for the benefit of all of us, Chair,
Senator Wambua,
the benefit of,
Because as the Auditor General, this is her report. According to her, it is her
yeah,
report.
so I think you should stop at an assurance that whatever you have reported there is lawful and prudent. As to the nitty-gritties, it is an entity to address themselves to. Senator Wambua?
yeah, so I would just want to hear from the auditor that the window that is open for 15 days, any transaction that takes place in between 1st of July to 15th of July can procedurally be captured in the accounting documents up to that 8th of June. Is that what you're saying? You're saying that yes, the year closes on that 8th, but there is disbursement that comes after that 8th or just before that 8th. So the monies, the funds received, it can be consumed in the county and then entered into the books as having been expended up to June 30th. Is that the position?
Auditor?
Okay, thank you, Honorable Senator. We are not saying that we are opening the books. The entities normally do requisition and they have already procured what they want to pay. The window is only for managing the money that has been disbursed on 30th June, maybe late hours, but now they are just executing depending on the approval of the control of budget. But they are not opening new requisitions or payments.
Now, National Treasury, did you issue a fresh circular on year-end closure in view of the migration to accrual? You had some guidelines during the cash accounting period. Did you come up with new guidelines for accrual accounting? Because it is causing confusion. Because I can see Nakuru is treating matters slightly differently from other counties.
Chair, even currently they have a new circular for this financial year, giving them up to 10th of July to execute, pay the money, and they use the money for the budget for the previous year. Let me talk of the previous year because we are in another new year. So they don't touch the budget of the current year. They are still using the budget for the other year with the money that they were given by 28, I think we gave them on 25th of June, so that it spends the budget for the last financial year. So the issue of not having the money in the system, it shouldn't be in the system, and they shouldn't report. I know they couldn't be having the issue of saying the timeline, but the amount is still used, it's for the previous year. And the circular was given even in the current year.
My problem is, why is it recognized as an under-absorption? Why can't it be recognized as absorption for the previous year, so that you don't have this under-absorption?
Is that for the treasury?
Chair, let me report on under-absorption. If Nakuru never collected enough revenue to cater for their budget, the under-absorption is compared with the budget and the money that you have used. So if they never collected enough, even if Treasury gave them the money of their share to the fullness, they were still under-absorbed because they didn't have the budget to spend. They didn't have the money to spend the full budget.
Okay, members, this is...
Just a quick statement there so that we don't leave things not properly tied up. Because you, like Chair, you very well put it. You'll have the population thinking otherwise. One, it is very good to be very clear that no money goes back to the National Treasury. Number two, we are able to absorb those large amounts in that last time period because we put our systems in place, because we always know, and I mean this for many counties, that a lot of money will come in at the last minute and we want to make sure we have made our payments as much as possible. So we don't touch anything on the new budget, but we try to pay as much as we can for the closing budget, so to speak. So a lot of people, a lot of contractors, a lot of whatever, they bring in their certificates towards the end, and we quickly make sure that we try and pay. So I can even tell you, Chair, that in the last 2 weeks, maybe 1 week to 2 weeks, Nakuru County has processed over 3 billion shillings in payments. So it is possible, it's done, and no money goes back to National Treasury. So no money is lost. I mean, Nakuru people do not miss any services, as there was an implication there, because money goes back to National Treasury. There is no such thing.
I think it's a constitutional and a statutory declaration that monies once appropriated to counties shall not return back to the consolidated fund. So that's a constitutional position. I think as we have said, is that the face of the report might give a different impression if it is not dealt with. So it means that this last financial year, all counties received their monies by the 25th of June. That is a fact. So that should be the scorecard for the experts at the National Treasury.
Yeah, we all received about 25th of June.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a county which received 4.5 billion, I think on 2nd of July. That was Kilifi, I think so. They received almost 4 billion, which they had to spend in a span of 10 days. Can we proceed, because we are at the time that we usually go to the House, when the House is sitting. I might want to apply similar rules, but with a slight alteration, that if we could spend another 30 minutes to deal with whatever we need to deal with, and whatever remains, we ask the Auditor General to give a report in the substantive audit. Honourable members, is that agreeable?
I don't know what addition Mitch wanted to give us. Maybe it could be useful.
Mitch, you had a legal perspective? Or it was,
okay.
Okay, fine. Now, members, can we
just transition from that point so that it doesn't go on record that the release of funds to counties on 25th of June is a good thing.
Project.
I'm saying that we should create
no. For the record, it's not a good thing.
It's
because
not.
You have a cash disbursement schedule.
Yes.
It's just a progressive improvement.
Yes. Well, I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know. So that Canada does not leave this place saying, we have done very well, and the Treasury is doing extremely badly.
Because also, Chair, you have to appreciate when the OAG is doing, it's also about assessment of budgetary performance.
Yeah.
So it must be captured based on that. And since you want to be the governor, those are timelines that you must be very careful.
Yeah, and I want the Treasury, when I am governor, I want the Treasury to follow the disbursement schedule, because it's not
correct.
It's not a suggestion.
Because, Chair, under Article 219, when money is appropriated by Parliament, it should be released in a due delay. And you remember in the last session, we were with the Senator Governor, and Dulo, and Wambu, of course, and Maruma. We had to sanction CS Ukuri Atani over the same issue of not following the cash disbursement. So the Constitution applies. I wish these are the Constitution Council of Governors should be discussing, as opposed to gossip. So it would have moved very reliably on policy issues, Chair. I think that is what
I think I'm in agreement that the cash disbursement schedule is not a suggestion, it is law. Yes. We usually spend time, we usually vote for it, and vote by delegation, isn't it? Yes. We vote by delegation, it is not a suggestion. So that is, those are some of the things that we need to partner as the governors and the Senate to ensure that they are observed. Getting your money on 25th of June, while it looks like an improvement, is still not good enough. It's still not good enough. You need to get your money early so that you are able to do proper cash flow planning and management.
Chair, help us also with grants. We get grants the last day of the financial year, the last day.
Okay, if you also show the willingness to account, we will be also robust in pushing for expenditure and release of grants.
That's why we are here, Chair.
Okay, so let's proceed.
Yeah, and I think also I want to add on is that the issue of equity, not equitable, there is this fund, Article 204. You know, we have had a problem with the equalization fund. It's also still a bigger problem that we still need to have a conversation that we can going forward. And I agree, the more they account for it, the faster we do our job.
We push, yeah.
We push for more.
Because again, if you look at equalization fund, sometimes you find that the National Treasury reduces it at will.
And you remember when she was our whip, she was very ferocious in demanding for accountability with the Governor Lee then. So she understands where we are coming from.
Still am.
Okay, fine. So now let's go back to the audit report. There are HR issues there, which we will ask the Auditor General to keep an eye on, particularly the real fiscal responsibility index, the 1/3 basic salary rule, the payment of salaries outside IPPD, and this one is a grave matter because the Cabinet this week asked the DCI to look into payroll fraud across all government entities. I don't know whether it applied to county governments, but I think that is something that needs to go to county governments as well. Payroll fraud is a serious matter in government at all levels. I'm not sure what explanation was given for the 1,457 employees who were paid outside IPPD system. Governor, would you give just a quick, yes?
Sorry, so, at the time we didn't have everybody in the system, but we since have. We now have everybody in the system and nobody's paid outside of IPPD. It took a long time to even get numbers, but now, what are they called, numbers? Payroll numbers. Yeah, but now we are okay and everybody, 100% of our employees in Nakuru County are paid within the system.
Okay, so as you establish the true cost of compensation of employees, please have a look at that. Mark?
Chair, I just want to bring to your attention the fact that the office has conducted a special audit on payrolls for the 47 counties, and those reports have been transmitted to the Senate for your consideration. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Senator Cherake?
I don't know how Governor will take this. It is going to be very controversial.
Please address the chair.
The chair.
Yeah, it is the chair to weigh
to be very
the weight of the matters.
Chair, and I have tremendous respect for Governor. She knows that. Chair, I notice, you know, they say Nakuru ni Kenya ndogo. And we appreciate that. But I notice over 80% of the delegation comes from one ethnic community. Yet we know Nakuru has the highest number of other ethnic composition as per the NCIC Act of not ethnicizing or dominizing a county. So, Governor, is this a reflection of the entire workforce? What can you give us to give that assurance? Because I know there are a number, I don't want to name specific tribes, but how is it? Because, Chair, this 42% of payment that you do in terms of labor, Which assurance are you giving us? Because I know that has been a teething problem for some time, especially in your county because of its unique nature of composition, which is not homogeneous, where everybody would want to have a share, to be a CEC, a CEO, to work with the county government.
Okay,
Which
that's the reason why I wanted the matter be processed through the chair. When we started the meeting, we had introductions, and the directions I gave was name and designation, not ethnicity. It is therefore not possible to establish the ethnic composition of the delegation. We therefore proceed back to the audit report.
Chair, unless you are new in Jerusalem, I don't know.
I don't know. By looking at you, I might think you are South Sudanese.
No, but, Chair, but the fact that I have introduced my name, you know who I am or where I come from. My
Order.
Maybe the governor can choose either to answer or not.
No, I do not want us to get into that conversation.
we won't.
I do not want us to go into that conversation.
Or the senator can answer.
That conversation
Like he is ready.
can be dealt with, Senator Tabitha, that conversation can be dealt with in the committee chaired by Senator Chute. Let's come back to the numbers.
Sorry, Chair, just because it was mentioned, and that's such a serious
Is it the
position.
question that I have disallowed?
No, I was just going to say that we have appeared previously before the committee chaired by Senator Chute, and Nakuru has, the last 2 years, been ranked as #1 in the most ethnically diverse county. So our numbers speak for themselves, and it is a reflection of of small Kenya and what the county looks like.
Okay, so we shall make reference to your submissions before Senator Chute's committee. Let's deal with avoidable costs incurred on court decrees. Let's deal with money. Auditor General. Avoidable costs incurred on court decrees. I think that's on page 7 on the certificate.
Yeah, that's number 5 under lawfulness.
Auditor, you could read your finding if you're already there.
Sorry,
Okay,
page 528.
Okay, thank you, Chair. This is number 5 under lawfulness, avoidable cost incurred on court decrees. Review of records provided for audit review revealed that there are several legal cases filed in court against the county executives were decreed in the interest of the claimants. Further, the county was instructed by the court to pay a total of Kenya shillings 180,736,467 in the respect to court decree, out of which an amount of 66,472,548 has been paid, leaving a balance of 112,721,131 outstanding. In the circumstances, the public lost an amount of 180,736,467 arising from court rulings in favor of claimants due to poor management of decisions. Thank you, Chair.
Governor?
Thank you, Chair. Oh, sorry, page 528.
Yes, you may proceed.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Honorable Chair, the management submits that the court decrees arose from legal cases instituted against the county government through various historical obligations, contract disputes, and compensation claims that originated in previous financial years, some dating back to the defunct local authorities. Many of these matters arose over the years. The management had little control over circumstances leading to the litigation. The decrees were issued following court determinations, and the county is legally obligated to settle the amounts. The management has taken the following steps. 1, issuance of advisory services to the departments, entities to comply with the relevant laws. Appendix 5.1, the advisory. 2, recruitment of additional internal legal counsel and legal clerks to represent the county and support the department on compliance. Appendix 5.2, internal recruitment. 3, continued encouragement of departments to undertake alternative dispute resolution. ADR, Alternative Justice Systems, AJS, and that's Appendix 5.3, Adoption of Alternative Dispute Resolution Mechanisms. And 4, Offering Departmental Sensitization and Capacity Building, which is Appendix 5.4, Training Letter.
Auditor General, could you just reread your last paragraph under that finding?
Thank you, Chair. The last paragraph. Further, the court was in the court.
Oh, is that the last paragraph?
In the circumstances, the public lost an amount of 180,736,467 arising from court rulings in favor of claimants due to poor management decisions.
Honorable members, is there any way we can vacate that conclusion? Because what the governor has explained is mitigation. And if you go further to the report, you've got a contingent liabilities register, page 56, I think that's note 44, that totals to 746 million. Is there any conclusion we can arrive at that would contradict what the Auditor General has said, that this is a loss as a result of poor management decisions? Because the reason for this exercise is to either agree with the Auditor General or take the explanation from the entity and say that, okay, we are convinced that this was value for money. Do you see value for money here? And more so when you look at the other schedule that totals to 746 million of pending litigation. Senator Chirake.
Chair, maybe I wish the governor would have segregated, because we would have known these historical obligations. Does it include during post devolution or pre-devolution? Yeah, I wish you would have segregated. And then my only concern, Chair, I don't know if this 180, what the OAG has determined, we cannot forget. That's my position. Number 2, the only part that like compensation, wrongful dismissals, and contract disputes, these are obligations of the county executive. But I will go back to where, Governor, you remember you were a member of JLAC then, and we did pass the county attorney. And you are very regular and committed member now. We passed the County Attorney Act. My only concern, Governor, how does your county legal department look like? And I remember your submissions on the floor through the chair. Your argument was that the county attorney must sit in the cabinet of the county executive so that such issues can be resolved at the highest level possible. How does the county legal department look like? You know, so that this 180 million that we are talking that was poor management decisions, if we had a vibrant and a functional county legal department, some of these things you are outsourcing, including, and we are not saying you should not give business to our colleagues, like outsourcing legal services, should have been resolved then. So my question is, Chair, apart from that, we cannot forget on 180 million, what as a governor, because we are looking at implementation status, how have you crafted your legal department to ensure some of these things can be resolved and county does not lose money? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, and I hope the county attorney is in the room, because that office is created specifically in statute, and it is their professional responsibility to respond to some of these things. Senator Wambua.
Chair, it's a follow-up on what Senator Legay is asking, and I remember very well, Chair, you also participated in that debate. I remember very well, and this actually, Chair, Chair Legay is reminding me that he was the chair of JLAC, but he was there very briefly, and he was kicked out.
Order. He was kicked out by Kihika's friend.
Senator Chirake chaired JLAC long enough.
Governor's friend.
Order, members.
Yes.
It is on record that Senator Chirake chaired JLAC long enough to take the committee to Detroit, to Boeing.
I was one of the best chairs.
Also a member of the same committee, and I confirm that.
Were you in the trip that went to Detroit to investigate the Ethiopian crash?
We never, in fact, if you check my records, I was the best chair for 3 years when in fact, I defeated you.
That's okay.
You are number 2.
That's okay.
I didn't manage to take my delegation to Detroit. I don't know whether the governor was part of that delegation.
The way she's laughing, she must have taken that flight to Detroit. Okay.
Senator Wabua.
So, Chair, what am I saying? What I'm saying is, if you remember those conversations on the floor, it was because of exactly this. And we were saying, counties are spending billions of shillings on legal fees. And yet, they could engage their own in-house lawyers, counsel, to handle some of the issues, especially the most serious issues affecting the counties. So my question to Governor Senator Susan, do you think that that office still makes sense? I mean, should counties continue to have the office of the county attorney and continue to incur this level of bills for senior counsel for counsel? I'm saying senior counsel because you said one of our colleagues is
again. You will not go that direction.
I will not. It's okay. I withdraw. I withdraw. But let me just ask whether.
But he's a senior counsel.
That's okay, Chair. It's okay. Let's just remain focused on this one. Because you see, the Chair, you just said that there is a pending payment of over 700 million.
A contingent liability listing of 700 million. Yeah.
There is a value for money query of 180 million Kenya shillings. We have a functional office of the county attorney in the Nakuru city county government. Is it still relevant? Do we need this office?
Chair.
Senator Maruma.
So, Mr. Chair, the public lost money, 180 million, because of poor management decisions. To me, it does not matter whether the defense in the courts is made by the attorney, county attorney, or an external attorney, because still, yes, external lawyer. To me, these wrong decisions, Chair, the people who made who occasioned those wrong decisions, would they just go like that? How would we mitigate? So that then you have a deterrent for those people who are making those wrong decisions. Yes.
Persuade Chair through you and persuade my colleague, my neighbor from Taita Taveta, to consider withdrawing that statement, that it doesn't matter whether it was internal or external.
I was just adding a limb.
Because if those councils that defended these matters were internal, they would not be drawing this amount of money. The money is lost on account of a wrong decision, then defended by external counsel, who then are paid this amount of money. If they were in the payroll, then this money.
In fact, if you had a functional county attorney office and establishment, they would provide advisories before you undertake administrative action that would lead to litigation. I think they would reduce the instances of wrong decisions, illegal decisions. Senator Tabitha, then you allow the governor to respond.
Yeah. Also, maybe to add on that, and even what the chair has said, if we had that functional attorney office, we could not be incurring these losses, because this is not the first time the Nakuru County is incurring losses when it comes to legal whatever. I think last one, it was about 37 million. Then again, we had a case of 22 million that now had supporting documents, legal payments. So I think we need that office, or even to make it as a law. When it comes to the control of budget, it should make a law for a county to continue and to be able to function. They must have that functional attorney.
Point of information, my leader.
Yes,
Deputy Majority Leader, it is already a law we passed.
it's already passed.
So it must be complied with the county
Implemented and
attorney.
complied.
Yes.
Maybe,
So I think our county government should comply to that.
Correct.
So that our people of Nakuru doesn't continue making losses of money that could be have control because of bad management.
Now,
or governance.
in the spirit of what we have always done, holding professionals to account, particularly those members of regulated professions like advocates, accountants, procurement, HR, is a county attorney in the room, Governor?
We have the county solicitor.
Yes, but...
We do have can I respond?
No. We're just trying to establish the structure. Do you have the county attorney in your delegation?
Yes, not here. We have the county solicitor, who is the accounting officer for the county attorney's office.
Yeah, but in terms of hierarchy, it's the county attorney
yes.
who sits in the cabinet.
Yes, he sits.
So I think next time when we have legal matters in the audit reports, the county attorney should be here as the person who takes ultimate responsibility.
Sure.
In terms of structures, you've got the attorney, you've got the solicitor, and how many people within the legal team?
I have about 10 in the county attorney's office, 6 attorneys, and 4 legal clerks. Yeah?
Do you need the microphone?
So right here.
Just now that the solicitor is here, just describe for us your establishment and how you are giving effect to the provisions of the County Attorneys Act. Please just stand so that you are visible.
All right, thank you very much, Chair. Currently, we have a staff establishment of 6 plus 4, so a total of 10 advocates. 6 were hired less than a month ago. So we have the county attorney, county solicitor, and then myself. And then we have 2 legal directors, and the others are county legal counsel.
Okay, so the 6 were hired just a few months ago.
Yeah, two weeks ago, actually.
So this impact we can assess maybe over the next 1 year.
Yes,
to see whether they are adding value.
I believe even within 6 months we should be able to see their their impact within the county.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, Chair. The structure again? You said it was the.
So we have the county attorney who's the head of that office. Then we have the county solicitor who's the accounting officer. Then we have the county legal counsel. So after me, we have 2 legal directors, and then the county legal counsel.
And that's what I wanted to hear.
Yes.
You have 2 directors.
Yes.
Legal directors, 2 of them.
Yes.
And then?
And then now we have county legal counsel, who are the legal officers.
How many?
We have 6. Yes.
6.
Okay, so these ones were recently appointed, so it's something that the OAG can keep in view. Are you done with the description of how we are giving effect to the County Attorneys Act? Because there's also the issue of outsourcing, which I know members are going to ask. Mitch, what was the decision of the court when it came to county governments outsourcing legal services?
There were stringent provisions that were provided before a county government can procure any legal services, including being given permission by the county attorney. And under the Act, it's county attorney, but under the court matter, it made reference to the permission of the Attorney General.
So Solicitor, this 180 million that the Auditor General says is a public loss, were these matters defended by in-house counsel or they were outsourced?
There were various matters. Some of them were outsourced, some of them by internal legal counsel. But all of these are legal legacy matters from before pre-devolution. Yes.
So one of the things the auditor can help us with in this audit also is that the 700 million contingent liabilities, we need to know whether they're being defended in-house or they're being defended by external service providers, so that we can test whether the county is in compliance with the directives of the High Court. Secondly, it would have been very useful for us to see a breakdown of this 180 million, because 180 million could be 2 cases, or they could be 20 cases. And sometimes when you get the detail, you might find that there's only one advocate on record for all the cases. So could you give us that visibility? Do you have that breakdown now, or it's something you can do in the substantive audit?
Chair, that one you can do in the substantive audit.
Yeah, so disclose to us who the advocates on record are, so that we establish whether the county is in compliance with the law. Okay, any other matter you wanted to raise?
No, that's just that, Chair. But one thing we need to note is that right now we're handling the matters very proactively. Now that we have a very robust legal team, we are barely losing any cases. So I'm sure the Auditor General will confirm the near future audits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honorable.
Yeah, Chair, because we are digging in on this and trying to unbank and unbundle the issue of poor management decisions. When I look at the contingent liabilities, page 57, there's a case here, E007 of 2024. What you have secured as contingent liability is 206 million. What could that case be about? Is it about, again, a wrong decision? Because we have the county attorney and the solicitor in place in 2024. If we had all of them, who sued the county and on what? Have you seen that, page 57?
That's Naivasha ELC petition E007 of 2024.
Yeah, where if the county loses the case...
With an estimate of 206
million. And that is not small change. What is it about? What was the poor decision about?
Yeah, it's about the
Solicitor, I believe you're the one who goes to is actively involved in these matters.
Yeah, in some of them I am. For this, these contingent liabilities, basically how we structure them is when someone comes and sues the county.
Well, that's okay. We have the background. Okay. But what's the matter? What's the matter here?
So that relates to someone who sued the county because he says that we blocked the entire access to the lake. There's a property that we have that he says that has blocked the public's access to the lake. So I think that is the background of the matter.
Okay, so members, really, it's not for us to go into the merits of any matter. For us, it's to ensure that we don't get to the conclusion that the Auditor General has gotten into, that 180 million was loss of public funds due to poor management decisions. And your office, the structure of the county attorney, ideally should offer value by ensuring that we reduce the exposure, we reduce decision-making that is not compliant with the law, because some of them are employment-related matters, where sometimes counties just decide to do things without following the laid-down procedures. So can we ask the Auditor General that in this audit, if there are payments that have been made and you find that it's a loss of public resources, please list the case numbers, list the amounts involved, list the advocates on record, and perhaps even on this contingent liability, let's demand disclosure of the advocates on record to test whether these matters are being defended in-house or they're still being outsourced. Auditor, is that doable?
Chair, it is doable, but to publish it under contingency, we are guided by the template, and maybe we look at the Data Protection Act, if it is allowed that we can also include the details of the advocates, because even when you look at our report, we no longer say which specific contractor was paid and all that in our report, because it's a public document that can be used in a different way, and we can contravene the Data Protection Act.
Which office do you work for again? Which office do you work for?
Office of the Auditor General.
Yes, you are the eye, you are the watchman, you are the person who tells the public whether public resources were used lawfully and prudently. And if they have been used unlawfully and imprudently, you have the power in the Constitution and in the Public Audit Act to name and shame. You even have the power to specify that a specific supplier should be debarred. How do you debar them without mentioning them? So don't be scared. Don't be scared, auditor.
Well guided.
The Constitution and statute gives you that power.
Chair, allow me to add that, auditor, you know, when these lawyers appear for these matters, they appear in public. They don't do it under the table. So actually, will not be disclosing anything. I mean, they have already disclosed themselves by appearing in public. Secondly, I sat in the ICT committee in the last session when we drafted the data protection law. There is nothing in it that says you cannot disclose people that are receiving public funds. They must be disclosed.
Yeah, there's also access to information. The debt manager, and those who want to be governors, please take cue. You need to have a debt manager. Is debt manager in the room? Because I want to know how much of the debt she's holding relates to legal fees.
1 minute, Chair. She had just stepped out, but she's coming right back.
Okay. Mitch, you wanted to say something on the contribution by the auditor?
It was just to confirm that the lawyer, the party, all of them are public documents in court, so they cannot be, they cannot infringe on the Data Protection Act.
It cannot be classified.
They're public documents.
Correct. So we shall be demanding that, because by demanding this disclosure on advocates on record, it also helps us to deal with instances where you find one advocate running a monopoly on legal matters in counties. And I think the auditor has previously reported in other counties of situations where one advocate is being given briefs on almost every matter that comes, that the county has in courts. It is exactly 3 o'clock. We are remaining with the answer by the debt manager on how much is owed to legal firms, but we are also remaining with a long list of projects. These projects, the Auditor General is going to the ground. And Governor, I just want us to do a very quick run through, because there's a long paragraph on 325 projects with contracts totaling 2.7 billion, which were incomplete or at various stages of completion, as detailed below. Now, just like rapid fire, there were delays in completion of inpatient and outpatient block at Maimayu Level 4 Hospital, Naivasha Sub-County. Under projects, that's page 8 on the certificate. So, Governor, without getting into too many details about the weeks and etc., is Maimayu Level 4 Hospital complete and in use?
It's almost complete. We had to terminate a contract because the contractor was not working, but it should be complete in the next month or so.
Okay,
but
so
it's almost, actually, it's like at 95% complete.
Fine, so it is not 100%. Auditor General, keep this in view. Molo Level 4 Hospital, incomplete construction of outpatient block. Again, is this now complete?
Actually, that one is like at 98%. It's just the outside walkways and external works that are being finished up. So it's about 98%.
Can someone walk in, can Cherargei walk in and get an injection of
tetanus,
of procaine?
Yes, he can still get, because there is still the old hospital there. So this is the newer blocks, but it will be, it's actually complete, almost complete. It's at 98.
So this outpatient block, as we speak, there's still some 2-3%.
Yes, outside remaining, being completed.
So again, we keep this in view.
Sure.
There are many stalled projects by the Health Department. Fencing and equipping of Hopewell Dispensary. Estimated cost 5 million. That's in Naivasha. Again, is this complete or not?
Let me check on that one. Huh?
Hopewell Dispensary. Yeah, I believe there was someone from health.
Was a chief of staff from Multi Services.
You know what? You're right. I do have. He is here. He is my chief of staff. Is here. And
yeah, because I want us to be done by 15:05. So we have 3 minutes.
Sawa.
Just to say whether it's done or not. If it's done, we confirm. If it's not done, the Auditor General goes to the ground.
Dr. Wainaina.
Fencing and equipping of Hopewell Dispensary.
Thank you, Chair, for that specific project. There was a challenge, a legal challenge in terms
tell us done or not.
It is not done.
At what percentage?
It is at beyond 90, but
not done.
Yes.
Auditor General, that matter should not disappear. Design and construction of Chebotoi dispensary in Kuresoi South.
That was well.
Started in 2017-18. Is it done or not?
It is not done, Chair. There was vandalism, and therefore it's not yet done.
So it is not done. Completion of Engashura Health Center at Kiamaina sublocation in Bahati sub-county.
That one, Chair, is done.
This is done?
Yes, Chair.
Auditor General, do you have visibility on that?
On just a quick question to the CEO. In Kuresoi South, is the robbers who vandalized, or what happened? Was it complete, then it was vandalized?
Chair, this is an old project from the first government that had stalled. And we realized by the time we were planning for its completion, when we went on site to reassess for BQ's collection, we found it vandalized.
Also, you don't know. Okay.
So this is our white elephant in all definition, because it was 2017-2018. There was a succeeding government that didn't complete it, and another succeeding government. Do you plan to complete it, or you have given up on it?
Chair, we plan to complete it.
Is there a budget for it?
In this financial year, yes, there is.
There's a budget that you can demonstrate to the Auditor General?
Yes, there is.
How much?
At 3 million shillings.
3 million. So we should tell the people of Kuresoi that Chebotoi dispensary, you are going to put 3 million shillings to complete it.
Yes, Chair.
So we shall hold you to account on that, and Auditor General keep that in view. Njoro Level 4 Hospital, outpatient block. Is this complete or not?
It is at around 97% complete. We are waiting the auxiliary works to ensure that the facility is open. That is the walkways, the external works.
Let's go with this definition of completion for hospitals, that I can walk in and get Panadol. I can walk in and get a nurse. I can walk in and get a doctor. I can get service. It's not about the paintwork. That's our perception of completion of a hospital. So again, Joro Level 4 Hospital, can I walk in and get a nurse and a doctor and medication?
Not at the moment, but in a month or two.
Okay, so we keep that in view.
There is a completion of Engashura Health Center at Kiamaina sublocation Bahati. Oh, that was what, 1.8 million?
That one they reported is complete.
It's complete?
Yes, Chairman, it's complete.
Or outpatient department block at Olenguruone Sub-County Hospital?
That one as well, Chair. It is...
There is a story. Okay, not complete.
Chair, also, these are projects of 2020. Now we are in 2026. How is the cost? They are progressing, but has the cost changed? Are there variations?
Chair, these are multi-year projects, and for the Olengroni Hospital specifically, we're in the third contract that is meant now to bring it all together. And this was based on availability of the budget. But we have the entire budget, and the works are now at around, the third contract is at around 56% completion.
Is there a success story? Because there are a lot of projects here under health that the Auditor General cited. Is there a sub-county level 4 hospital that you have initiated and concluded? Because
yes, we have a lot of...
This might give an impression that nothing is happening.
No, Chair, that's the wrong perception, and let me correct that. When we came into office, we found all these hospitals and many more that you have not read that had been done and left not complete. And I'm actually talking about running into billions of shillings to complete the hospitals and equip them. So when I came into office, we said that any contractor who has not been working, the contract is cancelled, we re-advertise and get them going. That is where we are. We just this week, today is what, Friday? Thursday, I don't even know. On Tuesday, I went and opened in Elbagon level 4, the maternity. So many of them we are now completing, but we are having to do a lot of work that was left incomplete, and the budget could only go so far. In addition to that, we have now our own level 4 hospitals that we have started from scratch, and by December they will all be complete. So a lot of it has been project management, and I have instilled in this my people that instead of starting 10 hospitals and leaving 10 hospitals undone, you do 2, get value for money, get them working, move to the next one.
Using FIF, is it possible to offer service and work on infrastructure for your health facilities across Nakuru?
Well, most of them we are actually doing that. Like, for example, the Olenguroni one you mentioned, the older facility is still continuing to treat patients and continue with its work. The same with Njoro. As much as there is a new block, the older hospital still continues providing services. In Maimahio, the same thing. In Elbagon, the same thing. So we are still offering services, just not in the new building.
So, members, we can allow the auditor to look at these projects.